You are an essential part of a perfect social body. Everybody in their place. Everybody happy now.
Huxley wrote Brave New World during post-depression era, industrial revolution, and things like that concerned him. But how do you think this story speaks to a modern audience just as well?
Well, I do think the things that he touched upon are kind of profound and relevant to any age in terms of exploring the relationship between happiness and freedom and how they're interdependent, and can you have one without the other, etc. But also the mass distraction, which to a certain extent he has in the book with the soma and the frequent casual sex. But by the introduction of this optic interface and the idea of Indra, I think really enhances that in our show, and also makes it even more relevant. The idea there are adverts constantly in your face and you can swipe them away, you can change the way you look, you can change someone's wallpaper, everything is artificial and manipulatable. And so you're connecting to your friend at any point. That, I think, is something that is just the format of that, if not the philosophy of that, is something new and something extra relevant.
The idea that if we are distracted enough or connected enough in a technological way, then we'll feel more enriched and closer. Whereas in fact, I mean, there's never been a better time to realize that whilst all of this is incredible, there's nothing like being in a room with someone or being able to hug and interact with the people that you love. And there's kind of no getting rid of that in our DNA and in how we're constructed. And that's what this explores, and what happiness and freedom is. And can you have one without the other?
You know, it explores the themes that we see in society today, which is the instant gratification, our addictions to technology, to drugs, and this is a more glamorous interpretation of that. But all of the themes are there. People numbing themselves to not get to know themselves. It explores freedom, and what does freedom mean? Individuality. Who are you? You know.
Yeah, I think the wonderful thing about sci-fi and fantasy is that you're able to address sort of issues that are extremely, that are prevalent in society, ideas like discrimination about privacy, that sort of thing, really directly, and it doesn't feel like you're being lectured. And that makes it all the more palatable for an audience, and without the prior prejudices that you have towards like certain groups, because everything is part of a new world, a brave new world. It means that you sometimes you can surprise yourself in your initial reactions to the way something is in sci-fi or fantasy, and then how that might affect the way you see the world on a day-to-day basis.
Like the sound of this video? All of our music was licensed from Soundstripe, a subscription-based royalty-free music library for filmmakers, podcasters, YouTubers, and more. Soundstripe. Keep creating.